Good morning, grade 5. I hope you're having a good week so far and you're ready for today's lesson. So let's get started. So today we'll be doing language, right? So I'll be going through the slides and we'll discuss it afterwards. So what is alliteration? So some sounds are used at the beginning of words that are close to each other. For example, the great green grassy Limpopo. So as you can see, all the G's are in red and they are after each other. So here we can see how the beginning of these words are close to each other, right? The second example we have is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So there's a bit of a tongue twister, but once again you can see the beginning of each word has the same letter. And the last example, sheep should sleep in a shed. And again, the first letter of the word has the same letter. So they all have a S. They all start with a S, right? So here we can see how the beginning of these words are all close to each other. And it's a bit of a tongue twister, right? So that is alliteration. Also, just remember wherever it says copy slide on the top, you need to copy that into your book. Okay, so let's go to the next one. What is assonance? So these are words with similar vowel sounds are used together. So for example, the blue moon looms. So here you can see I've highlighted all the vowel sounds. So we know our vowels are A, E, I, U, O, U. So here we have blue, moon, looms, right? So you can see that all the vowel sounds are used together. Our second example, I made a way to the lake. Once again, all the A's are highlighted and you can see that they are used together, these vowels. And the last example, the hat man. And then again we have A of the vowel A, and these vowel sounds are used together. So when you hear the sentence and you say it out loud, you can hear the vowel sounds and how similar they are and how they are used together. So again, the blue moon looms, right? So you can hear all those sounds, they're very similar and they're used together. And also you need to copy the slide as well. Then our last one, what is consonants? So these words that have a similar consonant sounds are used together. For example, bold golden shield. So here again we have the L and the D, which are all highlighted, and these similar consonant sounds are used together. Then we have Mike likes his new bike. So once again, you can hear those sounds. They're all similar and they're used together. And the last one, the lumpy bumpy road. Right? So they're similar and they're used together. So always read your sentence out loud and try to identify which sounds are similar, and then that's how you will find the consonants of the sentence. And once again, you need to copy the slide as well. Okay, so can everybody please open up the textbooks on page 79. So the first block, it has alliteration, assonance and consonants. So I just explained that block to you and I put it in separate slides with examples which you need to copy in your book. Now we have 4 questions, language questions that they are asking us. So I'll read through them with you and then you will need to answer them on your own. So number 1 says, read this poem and answer the questions. So here we have a poem about Medusa. And you have learned about Medusa. And you will find that on page 43. So that was our theme 4 where we did superheroes and superpowers, right? So you learned about Medusa already. And now they are giving us a short little poem which I will read with you. So it says, Slithering serpents seethe around her head. Evil eyes glitter and glow. A glance from Medusa will strike your heart dead. As you freeze on your feet, turn to stone. So, here in our word list, in the blue block, it says Medusa has snakes for hair. Anyone who looked at her turned to stone. So, the poem tells us, gives a description about Medusa and how she has serpents on her head, which are snakes, and how her eyes are glitter and glow, but they are evil, right? And then also it tells us how if you look at Medusa, you will freeze on your feet and you will turn to stone. So this is just a short poem describing Medusa and what would happen to you, right? So we know that Medusa had a very unusual relationship with animals. She had snakes growing out of her head. I mean, that's just crazy. Imagine you saw somebody that has animals growing out of their head. That's just a crazy idea, right? So, in the poem, you can see many examples of alliteration and assonance, right? So, like yesterday, we did the poem about talking turkeys. I explained to you about rhyming and rhythm, right? So, we can also find this in this poem where we can see rhyming lines like dead and head, right? We can also see glow and stone. They have similar sounds, but they are not true rhythms, right? So always look when you read your poem and you say it out loud, try to hear if there are any rhyming words or any sort of rhythm in the lines of the poem. Also, what you can do is you can read the poem and you can clap out the rhythm as you read it, and then you can find certain rhyming words or certain rhythms, right? Then question number 2 says find one line with alliteration, one with consonants, and one with assonance. So you will need to look in the poem and find a line with those three things that we've just discussed. Then question 3 says look at the photographs. A. Write a description using alliteration or assonance about two of the photographs. So there are 4 photographs. There's a fire, there's a nice beautiful tree, we also have a nice stream or a river with trees around it, and then the last photo we have some mountains, right? So pick any 2 of those photographs and then describe it using alliteration or assonance. And then B says make up a personification about 2 of the photographs. So remember, a personification means when we give human characteristics to an object, an inanimate object, right? So you need to look at those, pick 2 photographs and give them human characteristics. And then the last question, make up 2 similes in which you compare a person to an animal. So this one, you will need to make up your own 2 similes, and remember a simile is used when we compare something using words such as like or as. So an example of a simile could be her hair is as white as snow. So you see how I'm comparing her hair to snow and I'm using the word as, right? So you already know what a simile is, but just to refresh your mind, that's what a simile is. Okay, so for homework, I would like you to write the heading, date and page number and draw a line. Then first you need to copy the 3 slides with definitions and examples. So you need to copy the slide about alliteration, assonance and consonants, as well as the examples. So you copy those slides in your book first. Then I would like you to read the poem on your own again, and then answer the questions 1 to 4, which I just read through with you on page 79. And this must be completed in your English workbook. So that's all for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and enjoy your homework. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.